trying to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
After an absolute slugfest 2 weeks ago and last week's vacation, we return to the house that Penske built and the Transportation Repair 200 or Transport Repair 200 from Michigan International Speedway. Welcome to the next round of the AARL Cup Series. Tony Trapasso up in the booth, where they join with me, my partner in crime, the man, the myth, the living legend himself, Mr. Damon. Excuse me about that. Damon Lester. And Damon, I'm excited about this one because Cup racing, actually any racing at Michigan is always a fun time.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got multiple grooves. It's going to be slick out there today. The track temperature's already up to 100 degrees. Well, it's cooled off a little bit since practice. It was 102 for practice, down to 100 degrees now. Temperature's cool. The ambient temperature's cooled off a little bit as well. So, these guys are going to have lots of room. Hopefully we'll see lots of green flag racing, and they'll have lots of options. I'm sure we'll see 3, 4 wide probably. It's going to be a great night.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're taking a look at the weather conditions on the screen right now. And the good news is the temperature has dropped a little bit since practice. So let us do this, as we will keep track of qualifying. Pete Theriault out on track right now, as quite a few guys making their laps. As Kyle Purcell going to be the first one to lay one down in the qualifying session. Goes 38.84. David LaFarno jumps up to second quick. Wow.
Peter Theriault jumps up there with an 82.
Yes, he does. That is an awesome lap.
Pat, yeah, I've been saying it all season. The kids, the young guy's fast. He's just caught a lot of bad luck this year, and I think he's going to get one before the end of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. As Purcell bumps Theriault back off the pole, Angerstein goes 79. Good grief.
Orfano goes 68.
Very nice lap out of the 8.
Sorku lays down at 67.
Yikes. Jeremy Flanagan just blisters one. Let's see, who else do we have out on track? Pat McQuaid goes 11th quick on his first salvo. Let's see what the second lap's going to bring for the 77. Da Vinci jumps up to 7th quick. The only one who's not out on track right now is Nate Christensen. And it doesn't look like he's going to try to lay one down here. As McQuaid comes by for his second lap, does improve, goes 38.82. It's going to put him 8th quick so far.
Oh, Patrick McQuaid just laid down at 63 for the pole so far.
Yes, he did. That was a
Cameron Harris is out there. He's been fast all season.
And there's Cam taking the green flag to start his first flyer.
He is a teammate to Patrick McQuaid in the team project dynamic.
Absolutely. As Christian Delgado goes 13th quick on his first lap. Johnny May had some trouble on his first lap. Didn't count that first time. And doesn't look like the second lap's going to count for him either.
Cameron Harris' first lap is 75.
It's one of the best first laps we've seen out of anybody tonight.
Absolutely.
As we are going to stay with Harris.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that throws away that lap. Yeah, he narrowed that car up by about a good 1.5 feet anyways.
Oh, yeah. Well, he had a good thing he had that flyer on that first lap because, Cameron's been good at these tracks. He's been one of the good fuel mileage racers. It's going to be exciting tonight. Really looking forward to it. Michigan's one of my favorite tracks. I remember when they repaved it back in, 2014 or something, and the track was hitting. Yeah, it was hitting 206 and 7 in practice, and in qualifying was a 206 for the pole. So
let's take a quick look at our starting grid for tonight. Pat McQuaid going quick time, 38.631 in the double 7. He's going to be joined on the front row with Jeremy Flanagan's 11, just about 39 thousandths off of him. Row number 2 is going to give us David Lorthano and Pete Theriault. Row 3 sees Cameron Harris and Adam Angerstein, Kyle Purcell, and Cole Martin making up row number 4. Damon?
Yeah, starting off 9th tonight going to be Scott Leonardo da Vinci, and starting 10th, Charles Dickey in the 37. Starting 11th tonight in the 51, Jim Hubble, and starting 12th tonight, Tyrone Yo in the number 2 Ford Mustang. Starting in 13th is David Hara in the 15 Chevrolet. And starting 14th, Christian Delgado in number 5. Chad Snyder will be starting 15th in the 15th spot tonight. And Johnny May will start 16th. Starting 17th is Larry Garnes. And not getting us time tonight, Nathan Christensen will roll off 18th.
18 cars scheduled to roll off here tonight. 70% fuel fill. 6 total sets of tires to get them through the race. They're going to start with 1 set, and they're laying 5 in the pits. 1 fast repair in case there's an oops. And we should be in for a real treat here tonight. Michigan, it's wide. There's 3 lanes of racing all night long. It usually turns into a fuel mileage race once everybody gets the pre-race jitters out of their way.
Yeah, I think they'll get out there. You're going to have to take it easy the first couple of laps till the tires sort of get warm. They're going to be a little on edge, a little loose. We've seen some guys push up into the wall off of 2. So, it's going to be a good night. Got these guys getting lined up. Zorku fans in chat, how about that? Zorku starting second tonight. Awesome lap in qualifying for Jeremy Flanagan, that number 11. He's had a great year, and he's really been consistent. And I really think that he'll end up getting one here soon. It could be tonight. We'll just have to wait and see after the 100 laps.
Chips just have to fall his way, and he's got to play that fuel mileage almost to perfection as the field works its way down the 3M back straightaway here at Michigan. Again, the house that Penske built, one of Roger Penske's first racetrack builds in the rolling hills of Brooklyn, Michigan, the Irish Hills, if you will. Always a good time whenever we come here. As the field worked its way through the 3-4 complex, pace car getting ready to duck on off. Pat McQuaid going to have the button to get us going. The only thing that's left for me to say is it's time to wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point harness. Grandma, pop some popcorn because it's time to get it on at the Irish Hills. Race fans, it's showtime!
Patrick McQuaid bringing them down slow. Got a good Jeremy Flanagan with a great start as they're taking them down into turn 1. So 2x2 for the first 2 rows. Jeremy Flanagan taking a high entry. He's going to get that momentum. Here he comes, getting a run on the outside.
Getting a great run on that top side. And I think that's something we're going to see pay more and more dividends as the tires start to wear. So Flanagan with a good head of steam right now, about a 2-car length gap back to your pole sitter, Pat McQuaid, as McQuaid had to deal with Angerstein and Lofarno at the same time. Angerstein Lofarno wisely backing out of it. McQuaid's into the wall.
Yeah, it looks like Flanagan got a little loose there, got up into Flanagan, and Flanagan got into the wall. I had seen just before that, David Lofarno got a little loose in the middle of 3 and 4, so that puts us under the caution.
Well, let's go back and take a look at what just happened here. As I'm going to fire this one off. Here they are going down the back straightaway, coming into turn number 3. Little tail happy for the 11, trying to catch it. Ooh. Just one of them deals. Let's take a look at what the chopper saw on that one. Keep your eye on the 11 as they haul it off into turn number 3 here. You see a little bit of a tail wiggle right there.
He has to check up.
He has to check up. Unfortunately, McQuaid was trying to go to the high side, and Lofano was trying to chase it up the track at the same time. So that's definitely not a good sign.
Now, and Kyle Purcell, what a great save from Kyle Purcell as he gets it down into the grass on the front stretch. Just barely misses the barrels on pit road. I mean,
another coat of paint, he would have been in trouble.
Yeah, it would have been. I mean, he was trying to miss it, and it just barely the rear end of that car misses those barrels. So he's. I think I'd be happy that I still have my car in one piece after that little ride through the grass.
Yeah, absolutely.
Little agricultural racing.
Yes. Dirt tracking at its finest here at Michigan.
Yeah, these cars are they're on the razor's edge, and they have been at every track this year. You know, it's if you step over, it'll bite you.
And that's the thing with this car. It's a learning curve, not just with the car itself, but with the tires that they're using now. It's very similar to when they went from the bias plies to the radial tires. There's a different feel in the tire with the lower sidewall that they're running this year. And some drivers are adapting to it quickly, some drivers not so much. The one thing that drivers are complaining about is you can't save it as easily in the next-gen car as you could with Gen 6.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that come into play with that. You know, not only do you have that smaller sidewall, but also the rack and pinion steering. A lot more touchy than that old rear steer that
Well, with
that
the
the
rack
guys
and
used to
pinion, you
have.
take a lot of the slop out of it because you had
Yep,
like 4 drag links in the system between the steering box and the knuckle. Now
absolutely.
it's direct connect, and that takes some getting used to as well. And if you'll notice, the guys that have run a lot of dirt track late model stuff seem to be catching on quicker than the guys that did more pavement racing coming up through the ranks.
And that's just because of the type of, equipment that those guys use. So, there are some that are going to have an advantage. Looks like Patrick McQuaid's back out there. I'm pretty certain he probably had to use his fast repair, but I didn't get to catch his pit stop. He hit that inside wall a ton coming out of 4. So we are we're back at it here, and
Flanagan, you said?
McQuaid.
Oh, McQuaid. Yeah,
McQuaid.
safe bet that he burned it.
Yeah, I would say it's a pretty safe bet because he hit that inside wall a ton.
Yes, he did.
So Adam Angerstein's going to bring them through 3 and 4. Peter Terriot now on the front row with him. Cameron Harris and Cole Martin riding on that second row. As the pace lights are out on top of the pace car, he's getting ready to dive off. I'm going to turn him back over to Adam Angerstein.
Here we go as they come off of turn number 4 into the restart zone. Angerstein wastes no time pulling the trigger. 45 of Cole Martin not getting a good start there.
It's like he spun his wheels or spun his tires a little bit.
That's what it kind of looked like. As right now, Harris and Theriot side by side as they haul it off into turn number 1. Theriot on the high side, Harris on the low side, and Theriot gonna have the advantage coming off of 2.
It's Cameron. Yeah, Cam's going to fall back in line there.
Kind of has to at that point. David Harris trying to make some headway now.
Here comes Cameron Harris back on the inside of Peter Terriot. And we've got one a little sideways there. Jim Hubble coming out of turn 4. I don't think we're going to get a caution. He's going to keep it going.
Oh, there it is. Looks like Johnny May involved in that one. Let's see what happened to Johnny. There he is in the 69. Little tail happy going into 3.
Oh.
Oh!
Yeah.
Hubble was trying to save it and got up into May.
He took out Chad Snyder in the 6.
Yeah. Let's take a look at... Well, the 6 was also tail happy going into 3. So he was checking up. Almost got it saved, and then just boom goes the dynamite.
Yeah, it's like they're almost overdriving turn 3. They're gonna have to, it's a long race. You're gonna run out of fast repairs and car at this rate, really quick.
Unfortunately, you're right, as we are now under caution number 2 here at Michigan. As Angerstein in control of this one. We are going to step away and pay a couple of bills. We'll be right back after this word.
drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field worked its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing it's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Some amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Oh, the wrecking! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the West Coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series.
And we are back at the Transportation Repair 200 here at Michigan International Speedway. Getting ready to go back green with Adam Angerstein bringing them around, getting ready to get restarted. Cam Harris will be second. Peter Theriot is third. And Kyle Purcell, after saving it there off of turn 4, he's back up to fourth. So it's getting ready to get busy again. We'll see if these guys can settle in. We'll get some green flag run.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the first round of the championship round of their playoff series. As the field working its way through the 3-4 complex one more time, Angerstein has the button. Caught everybody napping last time. Let's see what happens here.
He does it again.
He does it again.
Green flag, green flag.
And
He
here
gets
comes,
a great jump.
absolutely does. As here comes Peter Theriot back towards the front.
Yeah, I think the key tonight, Tony, is they're going to have to get some laps on these tires and get settled in. You know, if we don't do that, we're going to be doing a 55 mile an hour, 60 mile an hour circuit of this track all night. We don't want to be doing that. So
Absolutely not.
I think they just want to get some time, get some. Looks like everybody's a lot more stable through 3 and 4 that time. As Adam Angerstein's stretching out a little bit, as Cameron Harris is trying to track him down, as Theriot in third, he's getting settled in as well. Adam Angerstein gets a little loose in the middle of 1 and 2. He's still saving it.
Hang on to her, son.
He got
There it goes.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Lock it
Caution's
down, lock
out.
it down, lock. Ooh. Well then. Let us go take a look at what just happened there. So we kind of caught the tail end of it.
Yeah, it sort of started with the 9 in the middle of 1 and 2. He got a little tail happy. Not sure if he got down below the apron and de-wedged the car or not.
He was close to it. If he didn't touch it, it was darn close. And unfortunately, the 27 absolutely nowhere to go and could not get it locked down in time to not tear the back end off that car.
It's like he hit that seam, Tony. That first seam, it will cause the car to break loose if you hit that seam, just like in real life. Those seams are slick as ice, and if you don't get your car either right on the top of it, with it in the middle of your car, or to get below it, you're gonna have a bad time. So
Yeah, he put the
unfortunately,
contact
that's what
patch of the
happened.
right side tires right on that seam, and that's when the back end started to step out on him.
Yep.
Tried to lay the power into it, and unfortunately could not get it to stick. Cameron Harris, a victim of circumstance here.
Yeah, they almost had it saved there on the backstretch, and then I think Cam wasn't sure what the car was going to do, and it rocketed back into the backstretch inside wall there.
Yeah. I mean, there was nothing really the 27 could do in that situation. It was, he thought he was clear and went where the 9 wasn't, and oops.
Yeah, it's the old tricky Michigan International Speedway. She can be awfully kind to you, but she'll reach out and smack you in the face if you're not nice.
Yeah, absolutely. But, the other thing that these guys are having to deal with, too, and it's something we haven't dealt with prior to this car, is the way that the under tray is set up on these cars. It's a flat floor,
Mm-hmm.
and they tried it in Formula One and found out similar things would happen if you get the car unsettled. So they outlawed it back in '82, and then the World Endurance Championship tried it, and they found out that if those cars got unsettled at a place like Le Mans, coming over the rolling hills on the Mulsanne, the cars would catch air. Luckily, we haven't seen anybody go airborne yet tonight, but that flat floor can wreak total havoc, especially if you're not used to it, because if you look at the rear spoiler on this car, it's about 4 inches shorter than we've had in a long time. And you're not able to generate the downforce off the top of the car the way that you can off the bottom of the car, with this car anyways. And that, too, plays a little bit of a key in savability of a spin, because the air going over the top of the car is still going over the top of the car. Even if you're sideways, you still have something pushing down on the car. Whereas the way that those vortex generators work in the back of these cars, you get this car 20 degrees off center yaw, and it's going around.
Yeah, that's how these cars. I mean, the downforce is created by the underpan of these next gen cars. So you hear them talk about it all the time on Sundays. That's where the downforce, and even the crew chiefs, that's where the downforce is. And if anything gets messed up, then that goes your day. So, it's certainly a different animal, and it really puts it back in the driver's hands. So he who holds on to the car the longest wins.
Absolutely. As lights are out on the pace car, let's take a quick look at our current weather conditions. Track temperature's already dropped 2 more degrees, as we are now down to 98 degrees under clear skies. That's kind of weird that the temperature is continuing to drop here in the afternoon. Normally you see the track temperatures rise, so a little bit of a weather anomaly going on in Brooklyn, Michigan, as the pace car does peel on off. Theriault has the trigger this time, as the field heads into the restart zone. Theriault holds him down.
Green, green, green.
And he's off.
There we go. Theriault, Hera, Delgado, and Purcell. Hera and Delgado up 11 from where they started, so decent drives for those two gentlemen. And don't look now, but Pat McQuaid's already back into the top 10.
Yeah, he's got his Zorku, Jeremy Flanagan as well. He's making his way back to the front as well. So he's following Patrick McQuaid. Maybe they made a deal with each other. Hey, we'll stay off each other to the last lap this time.
We're going to try to anyways. As here comes Delgado all over Hera for second. Trying to get that one sorted out. And they finally do, coming through the tri-oval. Lofano is in trouble in the 8 as the 14 of Da Vinci gets to his high side. Johnny May back in the mix as well.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys have. Looks like they've used their fast repairs. You pretty much have to at Michigan, or you're gonna, just not have the speed that you need to keep up with. Cole Martin down on the apron, and another one
Dickey was all over the place.
Yeah, we got a lot of action back there in the back of the pack.
They were 4 wide for a second there as Martin was still trying to save it. That's going to let the 9 of Angerstein get back into the top 10.
Cameron
There we
Harris
go.
as well, making his way back to the front.
Yes, he is. He's working right there with Zorku, Jeremy Flanagan, and Cam Harris going side by side. And Harris didn't burn his fast repair. He's still missing the back bumper of that car.
Yeah, I saw he's missing the TV panel off that ride, that's for sure.
That's not necessarily a good thing. Oh!
Oh!
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
There's your
Boy.
airborne.
That was Angerstein.
Adam Angerstein snapped loose.
We were watching just behind this, so now we got it up on the screen. And it looks like second verse, same as the first, gets onto that first seam, and oh! Jeepers. Johnny
Yep,
May had
hit that
absolutely nowhere to
thing.
go.
Trying to save it, snapped into the wall, bam.
And then to add insult to injury, the 09 of Nate Christensen just runs May over.
Yeah, I think in the position Johnny May was in, he was, if he'd held the brake, Nathan Christensen still would have hit him. 'Cause, I mean, it's just, and then if Nathan had tried to miss him, he would have been gone spinning under the inside wall on the backstretch. So, what do you do?
Jeepers.
He hit that wall a ton.
I'm still trying to get over the airtime that Angerstein caught.
Here we go. Looks like we've got some pitting, some staying out. Peter Terriot, he is still out there.
If I was
Patrick
pitting right now, I'd
McQuaid.
be pitting for fuel only because we haven't used the tires.
Well, that's true. But if you break this track down into fifths, you could use a set over 20 laps if you needed to. But like you said, we've only the only thing that would maybe hurt this is the heat cycle on the tires, but I don't think the tires have had time to get heated up.
Jeepers. Just went back and looked at Angerstein again. And jeepers, that was a shot. Judges' scores are in for that pirouette from the 9 of Angerstein. 9.8, 9.8, 8.5, 2.3 from the Romanian judge.
Oh, those Romanians. Yeah, unfortunate for Adam. He started off the season with the pole at Daytona, and he just had some bad luck. Unfortunate for him. But we're still we're only 20 laps in. A lot of racing left to go, and hopefully things will settle down just a little bit, and we'll get some green flag laps under our belts here. I think if we can get the track rubbered in a little bit, Tony, I think that's going to help the cars settle down. But we haven't had enough laps to do that yet.
I don't even think that the tire temps have come. I don't even think the tires have had a chance to come up to temperature, because I don't think we've gotten a. Have we gotten a clean lap in? I don't think we have.
I think we had a couple there on that last run, but we've not had more than maybe a 3 or 4 lap run. I don't think. This is a third or fourth caution.
Fourth.
Yeah. So, I mean, at max, it's been 5 laps per run.
Well, even that, I mean, you're talking 4 laps of pacing.
Yep.
And we're working lap 21 of 100 as lights are out on the iRacing Tesla.
Huh.
Theriot, McQuaid, Lorfano, Flanagan, Garnes, Harris, Martin, Hubble, Purcell, and Hera, your top 10 as we're getting ready to turn them back loose. Hopefully we can get some clean green flag runs in.
Yeah, I remember a few years back we had in the Cup Series we had a similar type race at Michigan, and it was the week before Bristol. And I remember DW saying maybe they're getting it out of their system this week, and it won't be so bad next week.
No, it wasn't. They didn't. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I know.
Here we go.
Pace car is off. Peter Terrio's bringing them down pretty slowly. And he's in the Geico restart zone, and he takes off.
Wastes absolutely no time dropping the hammer. And there's your pole sitter back up into contention again. Great recovery drive for Pat McQuaid so far. And there's Jeremy Flanagan right there as well in the top 4. So awesome recovery drive for both those guys. As got a little beating and banging going on in the mid pack.
Yeah, curious to see David Hara back there. He pitted that last caution. So curious to see what he's going to be able to do to come through this field. If those tires are going to make any difference.
Well, we're going to find out. As here comes Snyder to the inside of Purcell. Trying to make something happen right now. And just like that, wrestles the spot away, just bombs it going into 1. As Flanagan closes in on Lorfano, pulls alongside, drag race going into turn number 3. Flanagan just full send it mode.
It stuck for him that time.
Maybe they got some heat in the tires finally.
Yeah, I think Jeremy got the heat in his tires away. He didn't want to get them in his tires, though.
You're not wrong.
Comes David Lorfano looking back on the inside of Jeremy Flanagan. They're side by side coming out of turn 2. That was a problem section for him in practice, Tony. They were really, pushing up, especially when cars were side by side. The outside car was having issues getting off of turn 2 without smacking that wall. So those guys made it work that time by, though.
And they're still making it work as Lorfano not giving up on Flanagan yet. Flanagan, though, with the advantage coming through the tri-oval. A little bit stronger head of steam for the 11. As we are going to check back in the battle for 8th. And that is the 15 of Hera and the 45 of Cole Martin. Hera going to wrestle the spot away as here comes Kyle Purcell as well.
As he's looking down the inside trying to get on the inside of Christian Delgado. Can't do it that time.
Only one retirement to speak of so far, and that's Johnny May. He's decided to call it a night, as Angerstein is still on pit road trying to get that engine fixed. We have one very slow down on the apron.
Yeah, it's Tyrone Yo. He was just coming off pit road. He had to make an unscheduled stop.
Ooh.
David Harris on the inside of Chad Snyder going into 3. That's been one of our trouble spots. Those cars have been breaking loose.
Well, it looks like they got some heat in the tires finally, and the cars are actually starting to stick. As Flanagan under heavy pressure right now. Lorfano right there, as they are still in lockstep. This battle's been going on since the drop of the green. And no quarter asked for, no quarter given right now. As, forget hammer and tongs. Those guys have pitchforks and axe handles going at it right now.
Yeah. But Jeremy Flanagan's making that outside work, and he's keeping that momentum up all the way down these long straightaways. Great run so far. Even after that first lap miscue, having a great run here tonight in that number 11 for Jeremy Flanagan. All the Zorku fans can celebrate now. He's got that machine back up front where he needs to be.
Has a podium in his grasp right now. He's just got to keep it clean for another 72 laps. Nate Christensen making some headway right now as he's gotten that car fixed as he's working the inside of the 14 of Scott Leonardo da Vinci. And right in front of them, there is your battle between Purcell and Martin. Purcell on the low side, Martin on the high side, as they haul it off into turn number 1 in lockstep. Martin going to get the run off a 2. Advantage to the 45 right now. And Purcell's going to have to throw a slide job if he's going to want to wrestle that spot away from Cole Martin.
Yeah, he really is. And I noticed he tried to side draft him down the backstretch a little bit. And that will work here at Michigan. Just it's not as exaggerated as it is at Talladega and Daytona.
Correct.
But it will work here a little bit at Michigan.
As they are still side by side. Again, your battle for 10th. Martin has it. Purcell wants it.
And just an update for our, guys that pitted. David Hara has made it back up to 5th spot, and he's tracking down those leaders. He's starting to reel in the 8 of David Lorfano, it looks like. Well, I guess those tires are going to pay off.
Yeah, absolutely. Is Hara with a good head of steam, already up 8 from where he started. Schneider is up 8, running in the 7th spot. Larry Garnes up 9, currently sitting in the number 8 slot.
David Hara won our. Go back, I believe it was Atlanta. He won a fuel mileage race, and I think these guys are going to have to check old David Hara. He may be like DW and stick extra fuel rail in the roll cage.
Sure, why not? As right now we got a battle for the lead starting to get hot and heavy. As Theriault has it, McQuaid and Flanagan all over him coming off a 2. McQuaid with a good head of steam on the low side. He's going to have to just send it going into 3.
Flanagan's going to look on the outside, trying to make a Terrio sandwich.
Theriault flirting with the wall coming off a 4. Give the lap to McQuaid.
And Terrio's trying to power back with that momentum on the outside. Jeremy Flanagan riding right there in between them, going 3 wide.
That's the beauty of this track, is you can get away with stuff like that here.
Oh, yeah, there's plenty of room.
Yeah, absolutely. But Pat McQuaid leading his first lap of the night from pole position. Only took him 33 laps to do it. And here comes Hara on the fresh shoes. Or fresher shoes, I should say.
Anyway, this is great action up front. We got 4 cars under a blanket for the lead. David Lorfano is just sitting back there waiting for him to wreck.
Lorfano's over a second off these guys. And I think he's probably going to be happy when something does pop off.
There they go, 3 wide on the backstretch. David Hara's going down low. This is Zorku sandwich again.
What could possibly go wrong?
Well, maybe not as much since the tires are starting to, get a little heat in them. Great action though. These guys, here they come. Jeremy Flanagan ducks down closer to the inside. Patrick McQuaid's got that run on the high side. Flanagan comes up the block.
Takes all the air off the front end of McQuaid 77. So Flanagan in control of this one right now. David Hara up 11, currently sitting in the number 2 spot, and he wants more.
Here they come. Here comes Patrick McQuaid with a run. The draft does come into play here at Michigan.
Yes, it does.
There's Jeremy Flanagan, high, wide, and handsome with that number 11.
trying to make it happen on the top side. Is right now McQuaid getting a little flustered, trying to figure out where he's got to go to get clean air to his front and still carry the momentum that he's going to need to get by these guys.
Yeah, I mean, those new tires are going to work for him down low, but Uncle Mo is on the side of Jeremy Flanagan up high.
Yeah, very much so. As that second lane starting to come in and pay dividends. We saw it at the opening salvo that the outside lane was able to carry more momentum through 1 and 2, and that's how Flanagan got the lead before he lost it going through 3 and 4. But now that they got the heat in the tires, here comes Hera, and you're talking about a 12-lap difference in the tires, and Theriault just peeled off to go pit side.
Yeah, it's time for fuel. So, it's looking like it's going to be green now, so we'll probably see some of these guys make some green flag stops. Patrick McQuaid and Jeremy Flanagan were both in earlier in the race. They'll have a couple more laps, but they'll have to be pitting soon as well.
Yeah, the guy that's in the catbird seat right now is that 15 of Hera, as he came down pit road last time on lap 19. Flanagan was last down on 7. McQuaid and Lorfano were last down on lap 2. As far as the rest of your top 10, the only two that have not been down pit road yet are the 45 of Cole Martin and the 20 of Larry Garnes. As Theriault may have gotten popped for speeding on because he has spent an extended amount of time in his box.
Yeah, I'm betting he probably did. Yeah, you got a black flag there, it looks like.
Yep, there it is.
It's unfortunate. Probably it's got an awfully green flag look to this race now. So, this will it'll take a caution to get him back into this race. As he comes off pit road there, he'll be 2 laps down. It looks like.
I was wondering what was going on because all I did was I started seeing him just drop. I'm like, oh, that's not good. And, when he got to pit road, he had to have been speeding at the time.
Yeah, this is a tricky pit road. I mean, it comes up on you before you know it. And here comes David Lorfano into pit road.
Lorfano and Garnes both peeling off to go pit side. As the battle at the front seems to have gotten out, as Dave Hera has wrestled the lead away from Jeremy Flanagan. Pat McQuaid right there as well. The three of them have a 3-second gap back to the 27 of Cam Harris. And Harris, I'm surprised he's as far forward as he is, missing the rear bumper like that.
Just lets that air flow underneath that rear panel a little bit better. Makes it a little bit more aerodynamic.
Sure, go with that thought.
Well, they used to tell them at Darlington when they hit the wall, that's okay, you just made it narrow, it'll go faster.
Yeah. It was till they found out what aerodynamics is all about.
That's right.
Cole Martin peels off to go pit side.
And here comes Peter Theriault making his way back through the field. He's going to be passing David Lorfano coming into 3. He's trying to get one of those laps. He's going to have to get one of those laps back the hard way. And then maybe try to bank on a caution to get one of the others back.
As McQuaid peels off to go pit side. Still watching the 26 of Theriault as he's working the inside of Chad Schneider. Schneider's on the lead lap. Theriault's a lap down.
Yeah, Theriault's he's fallen the 2 laps down. I guess the field caught up with him as he was getting up to speed. So he's gone 2 laps down. He'll have to get one of them back the hard way. But it looks like he's cutting through this field like a hot knife through butter right now. So these guys don't have fresh tires, and he does. So he's trying to make quick work of them.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's going to be all for naught here in a few more laps because we should see green flag pit stops for the rest of the top 10.
On the backstretch.
Or not. And that brings out the caution again. Let's watch what happened here. There's the Ada Lorfano trying to make some headway.
Looks like 6 of Snyder pushed up into the outside
And that's exactly
outside wall, and then they both hit a ton on the backstretch.
Snyder hit driver's door first. Luckily for Lorfano, he hit passenger door first. So,
And they both got the old meatball plate with that one.
well, the good news is, I believe both of them still have their fast repairs in their pockets.
Yes, they do.
So while we are working caution number 5 here, lap 44 of 100 for the Transport Repair 200 here at Michigan, we are going to step away and pay a couple of bills. We'll be back after these words.
Drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field worked its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Oh, they're wrecking! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the left coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Transportation Repair Services 200 here at Michigan International Speedway. Brought to you by ESBN. Make sure, as always, we have plenty of races all weeks long. So check that little bell, subscribe, and anytime we go live, you'll get a notification if you want to watch more great racing like we have seen here tonight. And we're getting ready to get some more action as the pace cars coming through 3 and 4. The lights are out. David Harrah did win the race off pit road. Jeremy Flanagan was second. Kyle Purcell will be third, and Christian Delgado fourth. Had 3 guys take the wave around that last time. That would have been Peter Theriot, Larry Garnes, and Cole Martin. So those guys will start at the tail end of the field, and we are getting ready to go back green as David Harrah will have the field under tow.
Hera has the button, pulls the trigger a little bit early, just before the
Green,
Geico
green,
restart
green.
zone. Hera gets a good jump as now Flanagan has to deal with the 25 of Purcell. Purcell on the low side, Hera on the high side, or sorry, Flanagan on the high side. As they are still in lockstep. Flanagan tiptoeing a little bit more than he did on the last restart, solely because he doesn't want a replay of what happened on lap 1.
Yeah, and looks like he's used his fast repair, so he probably doesn't want to have to worry about that. So here they come. Kyle Purcell looks on the inside of Jeremy Flanagan, coming out of 4, as they'll be side by side trying to track down David Hara in the lead.
Still in lockstep, a little bit of an advantage for Flanagan on the high side. And you got to think Purcell right now has got to figure out how to get clear quickly, or else all he's going to do is burn the right front tire off that car, and it's going to be a handful later on in the run as he does slot in behind Flanagan now. Right behind him, though, that's Harrison Delgado going after it. Delgado with heavy damage on the right side of the 5, or left side of the 5. And Harris still missing that back bumper.
Yeah, he's trying to save that fast repair for later in the race, just in case he needs it. It's not affecting the speed of his car, so he's letting it roll as long as he can and not have to burn that. And, you know, if something happens at the end of the race, he'll still have that in his pocket. So Jeremy Flanagan's starting to make a little headway in catching David Hara there as they settle down in second and third to run tail end front nose to tail. But they are catching David Hara. They have stopped the side by side.
And your battle for 5th on back is a Waffle House scenario. They are scattered, smothered, and covering this track right now.
Yeah, absolutely. They're back there. And you got Patrick McQuaid back there as he is looking on the inside of Christian Delgado now. You got, whoa, Charlie Dickey gets a little loose there. He saves it. Peter Terrio is back to the first car 1 lap down. That caution was helpful to him, so he is in that free pass car position if something were to happen here.
Absolutely. There is Theriault there. But he is in a gaggle of cars behind him as Flanagan continues to show the way up front. Just that quick time of the race, 38.67. Showed speed in qualifying, showing speed in the race. And usually completely different skill sets needed to do that. As there's Nate Christensen, who started shotgun on the field, up into the top 5, wrestling 4th away from the 27 of Harris. Side by side, as you can see damage on both those cars, a little bit more on the 27.
Yeah, absolutely. There's racing all the way around this track, except for up front where Zorko, Jeremy Flanagan has this race under control right now. Lots of people in the chat out there, Tony. They're lots of Zorko fans that I know, as you probably have noticed, and they are representing tonight. They're excited their man's up front.
I'll tell you what, if you are a Zorko fan, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and let us know who you are.
Yeah, and got Cecil Hawks out there saying, honestly, I'd go for some Waffle House right now. I probably could too, Tony.
You didn't think this Yankee knew what Waffle House was, did you?
I'm telling you what, man, we got Waffle House and Huddle House here, so we got them both.
Oh, you have Huddle House. Oh.
Yeah.
Now you're talking my language. I'll take Huddle House over Waffle House any day. Well, let us know in the live chat, which is your preference? Huddle House, Waffle House, or do you have another diner that you prefer? Pat McQuaid continues his recovery drive. He was leading there for a little bit. Had to do, came in for fuel only this last time by.
Yeah, he had just pitted not too long before that for tires, so. And I think that, as a matter of fact, I think the caution came out after he had just ducked on pit road, so it sort of worked out well for him.
Yeah, it did. I'd rather be lucky than good any day.
Absolutely.
But the one thing that is surprising me is the tire fall off is not as exaggerated as we've seen at some other tracks with this new car. We're only looking about a half a second. As half a second under 10 laps of anger, I'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Michigan is, it does go through some harsh winters, but I think the track is aging fairly well. I mean, it's not really the type of asphalt they use there. It doesn't. I think the benefit to Michigan is it doesn't have to deal with the hot summers like Atlanta and Darlington and those southern tracks do. So I'm sure there's some hot. I know, I've got friends that live in Michigan. I know there's some hot weather up there, but they deal more with cold than they do with hot. So that's why you see those seams on the track, is they have to repair cracks from time to time.
Oh, it's very similar up here in the Finger Lakes region of New York, because I'm only about 45 minutes from Watkins Glen, and that was the one thing that they always had to deal with in the spring was they had the spring cleanup, and then the following week they would bring in the trucks to spray seam sealer down to try to get that track fixed. And Michigan's a very similar situation here.
So we have a battle for the lead, Tony.
Yes, we do.
David Hara is to the inside of Jeremy Flanagan as they go into 3 and 4. David Hara down low, Jeremy Flanagan up high. You're right, he just sent it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got Purcell right there as well. So a 3-car tango at the front of this piece, as they're almost 3 seconds clear of the 4th place runner, Nate Christensen.
Jeremy Flanagan tries to loosen up that 15 a little bit, gets that nose up as close as he can. The only problem there is I think it caused him to get a little bit tight, and he had to check up. So that cost him a little bit of distance there, but he's still riding that high line as Kyle Purcell looks on the inside of Jeremy Flanagan in number 11.
Well, we know Purcell is not afraid to go down to the low side, but again, that second lane, it's been paying dividends all night long. If you can stay up there, you can keep the car wound up a little bit more and not punish the right front tire as much as you can on the low side, as that battle for second still hot and heavy. Finally, Zorku wrestles it away.
So they'll settle in and try to catch David Hara, who is trying to check out a little bit. If these guys can work together, they can push each other, and that's just what they're doing. They're catching David Hara again once they settle down to nose to tail.
We've got a battle heating up for 7th right now with Cole Martin and Larry Garnes. It's Garnes in the 20, Martin in the 45, as they are working the backside of Pete Theriault. These two gentlemen in lockstep and have been for the last couple of laps here. And you can see the 3 distinct lines that these guys are running. There is no one fast way around this place, and that's the beauty of Michigan International. As looks like the 8 of Lorfano finally out of pit road after spending 10 minutes down there.
Yeah, I had to get some of that damage fixed the old-fashioned way because he was out of fast repairs after being caught up in an incident earlier.
Chad Snyder has been on pit road for the last 13 minutes. Adam Angerstein has got to be getting close to having that engine finally changed out of the number 9, as he has spent the last 33 minutes on pit road. But this battle right now still rages on for 7th.
Charlie Dickey gets really loose coming off of 2. He's able to save that automobile. Here comes Larry Gardens on the inside of Peter Theriault. And Peter Theriault is sort of, the only person he's really racing right now is Charlie Dickey. So Charlie Dickey's 4 cars behind him. So I think, Peter Theriault can just sort of take it easy. Doesn't really need to race these guys, but, Peter's going to race him because Peter is a racer.
Well, the other thing, too, is Peter's hoping for a caution right now.
Oh, yeah,
I think he's the only driver on track that's actually hoping for a caution.
And he just doesn't want to be the caution.
Correct.
As Cole Martin gets into the wall there right behind Peter Theriault.
And narrowed that car up by about a foot. But we stay green. He stays pointed in the right direction. As now Cam Harris and Nate Christensen going after it. as your battle for 5th. And you can see the heavy rear end damage as we are going to go on board with Nate here. And you can see the damage that's on the 27 of Harris right in front of him. As Harris eats
Harris
the
gets in
wall.
the wall again.
Good grief.
That gives Nathan Christensen a run, trying to get on the inside of Cameron Harris there. You know, you get to a certain point, you know, you can only hit that wall so many times until you're going to have to either get some repair done to it or use that burn that pass repairs. We only have 38 laps to go here. 37 as we cross the line this time by.
Absolutely, as Christensen has not given an inch. As Harris gonna slide job coming off a 2. The damage does not seem to be affecting Harris quite as much as we've seen it affect other guys.
I think it's hurting him down the straightaway.
It is, but not in corners, which
Not in corners.
which is very strange because normally, you know, if you've got right side damage, your side bite is gone, and that car is just you're along for the ride coming through the corners at that point. But
Yeah, if you
go ahead.
If you watch Harris here going down the front stretch, he's ducking in behind Christensen. That's giving him a tow, and he's taking that momentum through 1 and 2. Here he comes. He's going to try it again. He'll fall back in the slipstream of the 09.
Kind of has to at this point to get every possible drafting advantage that he can.
We're going to have to make another stop, Tony, so we're just about in the pit window. I think if they run a couple more laps, you may start seeing some guys coming to pit road to go ahead and try to take advantage of some fresh rubber.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking somewhere between 20 and 25 laps for the pit window, so we're not at the money stop yet, but we're closing in on the almost you can make it from here. Jeremy Flanagan may have burned off his tires trying to battle with Hara and Purcell. He is now fallen back into the clutches of Pat McQuaid.
And he could be trying to save a little bit, you know, trying to get as long as he can so he can have fresh rubber later in the race.
Absolutely, as McQuaid looks to the inside, going through 1 and 2. Flirting with that apron, that's this late into a run, that's not something you want to be attempting.
That's absolutely right. Here comes McQuaid. He's going to look on the inside of Jeremy Flanagan. Jeremy Flanagan around that high line. He's keeping that momentum up, and it's really helping him down these long straightaways.
Yeah, absolutely. It was McQuaid and Flanagan still in lockstep. A lot of respect being given between those two. As you know, they've raced with each other long enough to know what's going on. Is Charlie Dickey going to be the first one to blink to bring it down pit road? Flanagan and McQuaid continue to just go after it. Nate Christensen right there within striking distance. Cam Harris is right there as well. And finally, McQuaid able to wrestle the spot away. Working lap 68 of 100 of the Transport Repair 200. Round 1 of the championship round here in the All-American Racing League Trucker Speed America Cup Series. Tony Trapasso and Damon Lester up in the booth with you tonight. And Damon, we have seen quite a bit of action, especially early on in this piece. A couple more cautions than we probably would have liked to have seen. But since we've gone green, it's been some amazing racing.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, these guys are settling in, or into the last couple of runs have been, you know, at least 20 laps or more. So, you know, I think they're liking having to run at full speed and not those caution laps. So,
absolutely.
Let's go ahead and mention Transportation Repair Services. They're out of East Syracuse, New York, Tony.
That's my neck of the woods.
Yeah, it's a truck repair shop in Onondaga County, New York. Truck repair shop services offered: air and cabin filter replacement, air conditioning, auto engine diagnostic, battery, body and trim, brakes, electrical, exhaust, oil changes, steering and suspension repair, and transmission servicing. If you need service, give them a call today, 315-458-3808. Once again, that number, 315-458-3808. Give them a call there at Transportation Repair Services in East Syracuse, New York.
315 in the house.
There we go.
It's always good when I actually know the sponsor for once. But Hera and
Syracuse
Purcell have just set sail. It's now
Yes,
a
they
two-car tango at the front of this piece, as they've got 3.5 seconds between Purcell and Pat McQuaid in third. As looks like Peter Theriot has peeled off to go pit side, as has Cole Martin. That's going to leave us with 9 currently on the lead lap, as here comes Purcell on the outside of Hera. He's shot out of a cannon coming off a 2.
Yeah, and those guys that are pitting, they stayed out and took the wave around last time to get one of their laps back, so they didn't have a choice. They had to go and pit. But yeah, as you mentioned, Kyle Purcell, he has gotten the lead, or taken the lead from David Hera, as we're coming down to it with 28 laps to go now.
Absolutely. As again, you're almost to that you can make it from here window.
Yeah, I believe at the beginning of the race, Tony, they went about 35, 36 laps. A couple of them did before they pitted.
Yeah,
I know
there
Peter
was a lot
Theriot.
of caution laps mixed in with that too.
That's true. That is very true. Here comes David Hera as he's hitting pit road.
Hera going to be the first of your top 5 to peel off. Let's take
Kyle
a look.
Purcell is a man on an island right now.
Yes, he is. Full second to the good. Full
3.5.
3.5 to the good over Pat McQuaid, who's got a second clear of Cam Harris in third right now. Jeremy Flanagan's another 1.5 back. Larry Garnes is another 1.5 back. Your next closest battle is going to be between the 20 and the 5, as they've been like this most of this stint. Garnes and Delgado have not gotten too far away from each other.
No, I think everybody's trying to settle in. They know that here comes Cam Harris to make his pit stop.
Harris and Garnes both peeling off. It's going to hand the lead of the race over to the connection issues of Kyle Purcell.
David Harris back off the pit road.
4 in fuel for Hera. And again, we're right about that window of, if you run it right, you could make it from here.
Yep, here comes Patrick McQuaid. He hits pit road.
Cam Harris coming out of pit road, finally burning the fast repair on the 27. You can see he's got the roll pan back. And it's exactly what you were talking about earlier, Damon, was he was waiting until late in the race. He's had the speed without it. Let's see what he can do with it now.
Absolutely. If anything, it'll help add a little bit more downforce to the rear end of that car. Looks like here comes Jeremy Flanagan into pit road as he brings it down off the banking. Gets
Purcell
that
and
number
Flanagan
11
both
slowed
peeling
down.
off.
There comes Delgado as well.
Delgado was close to not getting it woed down in time.
Oh, Patrick McQuaid gets a little loose coming out of pit road. He just about bought it there, but he saves that number 77 Toyota Camry. That's going to cost him a lot of time, though.
Yes, it is. As Nate Christensen pulls alongside, coming through the front chute. So now that everybody's got what could possibly be the money stop out of the way, Hera back to the point. Purcell right there within striking distance, just waiting to get a little bit of heat in those tires. Cam Harris is a good 2 seconds behind this group.
Impressive the speeds that they're carrying on around this track this year. You know,
yeah.
hitting 198 miles an hour as they enter turn one.
I've seen a couple guys flash into the twos.
Yeah, you get a tow from somebody in front of you.
Oh yeah.
Here comes Kyle Purcell. He's caught back up to David Hera. He's going to blow by David Hera. Well, I say that.
Not necessarily. He had a good head of steam going into 3, as Hera gonna slot in behind. And if I'm gonna venture a guess, I'm gonna say that Hera has gone into fuel conservation mode. He's gonna let Purcell punch the hole in the air.
Yep. As the iRacers like to call it, he will use Kyle Purcell as his fuel pig.
Absolutely. And just, whoa,
Whoa, got a little loose.
gets into the 25. 25,
Oh,
save
I
it.
reckon.
Nope. There it goes.
Oh, and they get Cam Harris too.
Good grief.
Not very often you see the leaders cause a caution, but it's coming down to it. They were racing hard side by side.
Second time tonight we've seen that.
Absolutely.
See
Unfortunate.
the wiggle out of the 15 there. He chases it. Just ever so light touch on the 25. 25 or tries to save it. Ouch. Cam Harris absolutely nowhere to go. Catches a race car to the face.
Yeah, certainly unfortunate for those guys. So just an update, since we're now under caution, on the Waffle House Huddle House. Waffle House 2, Homemade Waffles 1, and never heard of the other two places 1. And I think Waffle House wins.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You know, Waffle House is one of the only 2 places I knew of where you could get a breakfast drunk off your butt at 2 in the morning.
Yep.
The other
There
one
you
was
go.
Denny's.
Yep. Get a what was it, a home run home run breakfast from
Grand Slam.
Denny's? Grand Slam, there you go.
See, I was kind of partial to Moons over my hammy.
I've never had that. What was that?
2 eggs, sunny side up, and a piece of Canadian bacon.
See that? Now I'm hungry. Now I want breakfast.
Yeah, you get used to it hanging out with Dave and me.
The guys are off pit road, and David Hara not going to lose many spots. He was able to use that fast repair. So even being caught up in that wreck, he's now only, he only fell back to 5th place.
Well, the good
Kyle
news
Purcell.
is everybody that just came down pit road should be able to make it from here.
Yeah, we're almost to the 20-lap shootout period, so.
Currently showing 21 to go. Christensen, Garnes, Flanagan, Delgado, Scott DaVinci, Kyle Purcell, Dave Hara, Pat McQuaid, Cole Martin, and Pete Theriault rounding out your top 10. And I believe Theriault got the free pass.
Yep, looks like he is back on the lead lap. So you'll be able to pit, get 4 fresh Mr. Feelgoods, and see if he can't make his way from the tail end of this field to the front.
Absolutely. But, the guy you got to feel for right now is Cam Harris. He'd finally gotten that car fixed. and just absolutely nowhere to go as the leaders were spinning in front of him and caught a race car to the face.
Yeah, unfortunate. Cam, he's just, like I say, wrong place, wrong time. He just had taken a fast repair, and that is never a good situation. So
So going to restart with 19 to go. Christensen going to have the trigger. And Christensen started shotgun on this field. Did not post a time in qualifying. Started stone dead last. And he's now leading this piece. Larry Garnes is up there as well. Good solid run out of the 20 tonight.
yeah, absolutely. Larry Garn's having a great run tonight. But we've got the field sort of jumbled up now. A little bit of a tossed salad here coming from the Waffle House. We've got fresh tires sort of scattered throughout the field, and as you said, what was it? Scattered, smothered, and
Covered.
covered. There we go. That's what it's getting ready to be as we come through 3 and 4.
As pace car getting ready to duck on off. As the field works its way out of turn number 4. Here we go. Pace car drops below the mustard line. Christensen has the trigger. Doesn't waste any time rolling into it. Looks like he caught everybody asleep at that one.
Yeah, absolutely. And here they go. He takes them down into turn 1. Larry Garnes riding second. Zorku on the inside of Delgado for battling for third. Here comes Kyle Purcell.
Absolutely. As Purcell took fuel only under this stop. As the 11 of Flanagan had to chase it down the track coming off of 2. They're 3 wide going into 3.
I think Jeremy was just trying to get away from anybody being able to sidetrack him as he goes to second place. Christian Delgado, Kyle Purcell, side by side for third.
Larry Garnes looks like he may have gotten into the wall coming off of 4. That's going to cost him some spots.
And Jeremy Flanagan's going to get the push from Kyle Purcell coming down that long front stretch.
I'm kind of surprised that Christian Delgado hasn't burned his fast repair yet. As you can see, the left side of that car is still cheese grated. Whoa, hang on to her, Pat McQuaid.
Oh, it's
no,
David
that was
Hara.
15 of Hara. Sorry, I saw the blue and thought McQuaid. Yeah, Hara had a big moment coming off of 2 there.
Oh, Jeremy Flanagan. He saved it. It was almost big. Is there 3 wide for second now as Delgado gives Kyle Purcell to push it down the front straightaway. That's going to bring Patrick McQuaid right into this tussle.
McQuaid and Cole Martin.
Here comes Cole Martin looking on the inside. He's going to follow Patrick McQuaid up there past Jeremy Flanagan.
Flanagan's struggling right now, and I don't see any damage on the 11 to speak of. But
I think he just made those tires angry that last time. He does have a little wrinkle over the right front.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can see it there. As McQuaid up into a podium, just outside of podium position. As right now, Christian Delgado has the final step of the podium. As we are 16 to go. Flanagan with a good head of steam on the inside. McQuaid on the high side, going to have the momentum coming off of 2. Drag race down the back straightaway.
And just as we think Jeremy Flanagan's losing a little pace, he's right back at it. Here he comes, going after Christian Delgado. Oh, we've got a big hit. Cole Martin in the middle of 3 and 4. He's going to be able to not collect anybody. It looks like we're going to stay green.
Let's go back and take a look at that.
It's a little push loose. He was pushing, then just snapped on him, and he slapped a wall in the middle of 3 and 4.
Oh, yeah, that was a good hit. But we do stay green, and we are now back live.
Patrick McQuaid and Jeremy Flanagan. David Hara takes them 3 wide going into turn 3.
Oy vey. Well, I mean, with 15 laps to go, you kind of gotta.
Yeah, well, David Hara's got a brand new pair of shoes, as well as a brand new suit. As they try to go 4 wide.
Flanagan was thinking about it. He just didn't have the room. As
And I think he thought better of it.
McQuaid throws a slide job on Hara. Hara going to cross him over, coming through 1 and 2. Big moment for Delgado coming off a 2 as Hara had to check up. And here comes
Purcell has
Flanagan.
caught Nathan Christensen. Yeah, they're still looking to be 3 wide now coming out of 4.
As we were going to check this battle for the lead, Christensen in the 09 started shotgun on the field. Purcell is up 5 from where he started.
Whoa. Jeremy Flanagan almost gets into Christian Delgado, but they're able to keep it together and get on down that back straightaway. They're going to fall in line now. There's racing all over the place right now, Tony.
Yes, there is. As we are 13 to go, it'll be 12 at the stripe. But your battle right now is between these two, Kyle Purcell and Nate Christensen. A full second to the good over your pole sitter, Pat McQuaid. Give the lap to Purcell as he just muscles it to the front. And Christensen, it's touch and go. I'm wondering if he can actually make it from here, as Purcell did come down under that last caution to top off with fuel. So Purcell should be good. McQuaid should be good. Harris should be good.
Flanagan pitted as well, so he should be good as well.
Flanagan was last down on 75. Everybody else was 79. So he
so that's
just
what affecting. Yeah, that's what's affecting Flanagan right now. As he has fallen back to 6th place, battling side by side with Christian Delgado right now.
And here we go, 3-car tango for second with McQuaid, Christensen, and Hara.
It's about to get busy for the lead.
Oh, very much so.
Patrick McQuaid and David Hare are coming fast.
Yes, they are. As we are going to be 10 to go at the stripe, Kyle Purcell shows the way. And your pole sitter, Pat McQuaid, is back up into the podium. But he's got to worry about David Hara, as Hara's got a good head of steam going right now.
They're at the right position. They're going to start getting a toe off of Kyle Purcell. So Kyle Purcell's going to have to start playing defense now, as Patrick McQuaid is coming, and so is David Hara.
The bad news if you're Purcell is McQuaid and Hara both took tires under that last caution. He did not. And here comes McQuaid to the inside, going into 1. Full head of steam for the 77. Purcell not going to be able to really do much to defend his. Hara's going to take him 3 wide. Thinks better of it. Oy, another coat of paint. Purcell would have been in trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. It's time to stop playing nice. I mean, they're certainly showing that, as David Hara's on the inside of Kyle Purcell, still trying to track down the leader of Patrick McQuaid. That was awfully close, too. He slid right up across the nose of Kyle Purcell there, Tony, and it was almost another incident.
Well, you're getting to the point of the race where you've got to drive ZFG. And for those of you who've watched me long enough, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But
here goes Kyle Purcell on the inside of David Hara now. Wants that 2nd place. Patrick McQuaid, our leader, done it several times this year already, looking for another one here in the playoffs.
2 Toyotas and a lone Chevy at the front of this piece. As a matter of fact, David Hara has the only Chevy in the top 5 right now. That's putting a lot of trust in netcode.
Yes, it is. Here comes David Hara looking on the low side again, trying to get that run down low. as he's making it stick. Kyle Purcell's going to have that momentum up high as they're side by side.
It'll be 6 to go at the stripe. Pat McQuaid continues to show the way. Kyle Purcell, David Hara, your top three. As Nate Christensen has fallen back 2.5 seconds off this lead group. And it looks like Hara going to get the slide job coming off
Slide
of two.
job, crossover. Oh, and David Hara in the wall.
Well, that's not how he planned it.
No. He's good intentions.
Oh, yeah. Well, now Purcell just has to worry about the 77 as McQuaid continues to show the way. We are going to be 5 to go at the stripe.
Kyle Purcell, he's in the toe. Patrick McQuaid, he's trying to catch him. Like you said, 5 to go. Here he goes. He's thinking about it. He's looking. He's right there on the bumper of the 77 as they come down the backstretch.
And the question is, what type of help is Angerstein going to give either of them? As he is finally back out on pit road, or out of pit road after having to change an engine.
Kyle Purcell trying to get that run up high. Adam Angerstein looking low. Adam Angerstein not really in the discussion, but he is going to play a part in this right now, it looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. And the question is, which one of his Toyota brethren is he going to help? Right now,
Or
neither
hurt.
one of them.
It looks like he's helping Kyle Purcell as Kyle Purcell side by side for the lead with Patrick McQuaid.
Purcell with the nose out front as they haul it off into turn number 3. He's got the position. McQuaid gonna have 6 miles to get it done at the stripe. 3 laps to go. Can Purcell hang on? Does McQuaid have anything for him? David Hara, 2.5 seconds back. Not really a factor in this one, as he's got another second gap over Christian Delgado, who runs in 4th. So plenty of racing going on at the front of this piece. This is probably one of the best battles
They're wrecking
for the
off
race.
too.
And there it goes.
Christian Delgado's around. Caution is out. That'll give us a green-white checkered here tonight.
Yes, it will. And we are going to go back and see what just took place with the 5. So they are coming through 1 and 2. Just gets into it with a synchronized spinning. Looks like Charlie Dickey and Cole Martin catching a piece of that one.
Yeah, I think Charlie Dickey just drove it in there. And, yeah, pushed up into Delgado. Charlie Dickey was the lap car as well, so probably won't go over very well.
You're not wrong. So that should give some good news if you're a Cam Harris fan, as I believe he got the free pass, which should put him back on the lead lap, as we are going to go green-white checker. And Damon, I always, when they started doing this, I never really liked it. But now that we've had it for a few years, I can understand why they decided to go with this green-white checker finish deal. Because nobody wants to see a race under caution.
Absolutely not.
But the way that they do this, it's kind of interesting. Green flag is going to come out. They're going to race back to the stripe. The leader has to cross the start-finish line to take the white flag, and then we're racing back to checkers. If we don't make it that far, we're going to rack them, stack them, and try it again. But Purcell, Christensen, Martin, Da Vinci, McQuaid, your top 5.
Here, I think Kyle Purcell and Nathan Christensen maybe just had a Scooby-Doo moment. Right, because because everybody behind them came for tires.
Everybody except
Eh,
Scott Da Vinci.
Yeah, because you've got Purcell, Christensen, and Cole Martin running first, second, and third. Scott Leonardo Da Vinci will be fourth. Patrick McQuaid is the first one on tires in fifth.
David Hara, Peter Theriault, Larry Garnes, Jeremy Flanagan, Christian Delgado, all on fresh shoes, rounding out your cars in the top 10. It looks like Theriault took 2, though.
Yeah, trying to get a little track position.
Yeah, but as loose as this car has been, 2 is almost suicide.
Well, he's got a little damage there on the right side of his car. Well, never mind. He got a fresh car. He used that fast repair.
Well, this is the time to do it.
Yep. One to watch.
And here we go. Lights are out on the pace car. Purcell going to have the button. It's going to be interesting to see when he's going to go, because whenever he's had the button tonight, he has gone hella early.
And the question is, are we going to be 4 or 5 wide when we go into turn 1?
At least 4. Again, I want to thank everybody for joining us in the live chat tonight. Thank you all for making this so much fun to broadcast. If you haven't done so already, give this video a thumbs up. And it really helps share these videos with the YouTube algorithm. The more thumbs up a video gets, the more likely it is to appear on somebody's news feed when they log into YouTube. Also, if you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button, turn on bell notifications, as we do this 6 nights a week. Saturday being the only reprieve that we get, but Damon, we do have a special event coming up on the 23rd.
Absolutely. We'll be at Las Vegas for trucks and the charity race to help mental health.
And Racing for Mental Health, a cause that I feel very strongly for. As here we go, Purcell jumps on the loud pedal, gets an amazing restart. Christensen was caught asleep at the switch on that one. As keep your eye on
everybody. Here comes Peter Theriault.
Oh boy.
They're going to be 3 wide coming off 2 as he's up there behind Scott Leonardo Da Vinci. Here comes Hara and Mac McQuaid. They're going to be 2 wide, 2 by 2, coming down the backstretch. This isn't over.
Not by any stretch of the imagination.
But Kyle Purcell's saying,
Da Vinci's sideways.
Yo, and so is Theriault. And caution's going to be out before they get the...
Yellow.
Yep, caution's out before they hit the white flag. This will be green-white checkered number 2.
So remember what I said about rack and stack them and fired again? That's
Yep.
what we're doing.
Yep.
Keep your eye there on the 14. He gets a little bit squirrely. Gets up into the 26. That's the second time tonight the 26 has been nerfed like that.
That's what no tires will do for you.
Yeah.
But, that's, you got to take that chance sometimes. And, the 14's still there, and unfortunately the 26 is not.
Hopefully Pete still has his fast repair, but I don't think he does.
And I think he just burned it, that previous caution, because he had quite a bit of damage on the right side of the car, and I'm sure that was affecting his handling, and he wanted a fresh bullet in the gun for this shootout.
Can't say I blame him on that one.
Is Nathan Christensen's going to come down pit road. That'll put the angry hounds right on Kyle Purcell's doorstep as we go green next time.
Absolutely. Is Purcell with the oldest tires in the top 5 right now? Hara, McQuaid, and Martin all came down under the previous caution to get tires. Actually, I take that back. Cole Martin did not, but he did take tires on the previous caution. So.
And Cole Martin's got a little damage there on the right front, so You know, not that not that he's not going to be a factor, but that's certainly not going to help him.
Yeah, it's definitely not ideal in this situation.
It's Joshua Hetrick in the chat. Not what we needed, Kyle. I think Josh is absolutely right. He was almost to the white flag and caution came out. So
He had about 10 feet.
yeah, he almost was there. If he'd crossed that he crossed that line in 10 feet, we would be celebrating a 25 win right now.
Well, now he's got to rack him, stack him, and fired it again, but now he's got a very angry Dave Hara and a very hungry Pat McQuaid right there with him.
But here's the thing: if Kyle can get another good restart like he did, I know some people in the chat are saying that he's not really in a good way. He's still, if he can get a good start and these guys start battling behind him, exactly what happened before can happen again. So it's not over by any stretch of the means. And Kyle Purcell's had a good car all night long. So don't count him out, guys.
No, absolutely. I mean, Purcell's led quite a few laps here tonight. But Hara and McQuaid on the fresh shoes. This is going to get very interesting very quickly. As field's starting to double up. Purcell, Hara, McQuaid, Martin, Da Vinci, Flanagan, Dickey, Theriault, Christensen, and Garnes rounding out your top 10. Cam Harrison, the 27, has the final spot on the lead lap currently. And you see Pat McQuaid trying to get those tires clean so when he does pull the trigger, he can go with the 25.
Yeah, doesn't want to spin those tires. Well, these guys will be on him quick because it's time to go. Time to go and make some dough.
As the field works its way through the 3-4 complex.
You know what time? It's almost that time again.
It's almost that time again?
It's almost that time again. That pace car is getting ready to dive off, and these guys are going to wipe that visor and pull that 5-point harness tight.
And you better make sure it's tight because all hell's about to break loose here at Michigan. Purcell gets ready to pull the trigger, rolls into it. McQuaid goes with him.
Green flag.
Hara
Good
got
jump
a
by
decent
Purcell.
start.
And Scott Leonard just turned off the track. I'm not sure if he ran out of fuel or what happened there.
Not sure. But the battle for second, hot and heavy between Hara and McQuaid. McQuaid on the low side, Hara on the top side.
Oh, they're wrecking.
And there it goes.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
And I got Flanagan at the tail end of that.
Let's see what our good friend up the chopper picked up. You see a little bit of a wiggle out of the 77 there. Catches that seam. And the 15 actually was chasing it down the track. He was a little tail happy and got loose coming off. Oh! Flanagan just caught a race car to the face.
Yep. Nothing he could do.
As a matter of fact, we are going to go on board with Jeremy Flanagan. This is what he saw.
I really hate that from my man Zorku. He's having a great run tonight. Qualified second. I had that little oops at the beginning of the race. This one was completely out of his control. He tried to miss it, and it's just, I hate that for these guys.
Absolutely.
You've got several guys now who are I think had a meatball after that, so they're trying to still make it as, they can get going or maybe a couple of laps to go, but
So Purcell, Martin, Dickey, Theriot, Christensen, Harris, Garnes, Hara, McQuaid, and Flanagan currently being scored as your top 10.
Yeah, and Joshua Hetrick was in that 25 car earlier in the season. I think he's sort of like maybe the team owner there. And he's pulling for Kyle. He said, can you do it a third time, Kyle? We'll have to see. Coming down to it.
Oh, we are about to find out as lights should be going out on the pace car this next time by.
And I do assure you, everyone, this is Michigan. We are not at Bristol.
I have flashbacks to a Charlotte race I did a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Oh, Rodney in chat says some nice demolition racing tonight. Yeah, it started off a little rough. We had a good patch right in the middle, but when it comes time down to get that checkered flag, everybody throws
Their brain out the window.
the brain out the window. Sort of like Joey Logano did this weekend. He threw that brain out the window and just drove through the 24. But
Yeah, but
you gotta do what you gotta do.
what happened the last time Joey Logano drove through somebody?
Yeah, I know.
I'd be on the phone to Matt Kenseth going, "Hey, you want to do a one race deal?"
Yeah. Matt Kenseth gained so many fans that day.
Yep.
I was one of them because he got my favorite driver of all time, his final win of his career. So I was a happy boy.
And there you go. So lights are out on the pace car. Can Purcell get the jump that he's been getting? And can he hold off that pack of angry wolves behind him?
And we've got some guys who are going to try to see if their cars will last a couple of laps here. Probably won't be very fast, but they're trying to keep it out there just to get, the finishing position. Because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. But Nate Christensen, Cam Harris, and Larry Garnes all coming down under that last caution, though Theriot is missing his front still. I kind of got to give the nod to Christensen here. He's got some of the freshest tires in the top 10 right now. So
we'll go with the jump of Kyle Purcell.
Katie, bar the door. And
here we go. It's another great jump by Kyle Purcell. He gets out there. Peter Theriot
Cole Martin
taking him 3 wide.
All we got to do is make it another mile and a half.
Peter Theriot with no nose is going to second. Here comes Cole Martin up on the inside. Charlie Dickey making it 3 wide. Here comes Nathan Christensen.
And there it is.
Reagan.
Race over.
Race over.
Boom goes the dynamite.
And our winner is going to be Kyle Purcell.
Let's go ahead and take a look at what just happened there. Yep. 45 gets into 26. 9 ZFG takes out the 20. Well then. Isn't that all sorts of fun and exciting?
And Kyle Purcell gets turned on the backstretch.
Of course he does.
That's okay. He's already the winner. Not sure if that was from something early in the race. I don't think so, but you never know.
Oh, he was waiting on the pace car. Well, I dare say there's going to be at least a couple drivers going to the big white truck at the end of the race.
Well, you know you're having a good day if you can take a car that doesn't have a nose and finish fourth at Michigan. And after being white flagged for speeding on pit road and
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
great run by Kyle Purcell tonight. He had a great car all night long, Tony.
Yes, he did. As we are actually going to reach out to the man of the hour. And Damon, I believe you've got our race winner with you now.
Kyle Purcell, this is Damon and Tony in the booth. Man, you got a copy?
I do.
Man, those 3 restarts at the end were money. And ran a great race all night long. How was it out there besides almost like Michigan? And they're still running into you.
It was terrifying, especially at the ending. So I'm like, oh, I'll stay out. People will stay out. They don't want to give up track position. Then everybody pit except for like 3 people. I'm like, oh, no. So I knew I had to get a good restart, and I was able to get good enough restarts that when they wrecked, I wasn't close to it. And that's all it came down to at the end of it.
Absolutely, man. You had a great run tonight. There was some great 2 and 3 wide racing up there for the lead. And, just congratulations on a great run. Hey, who you want to thank tonight, my man?
Gotta thank my teammates. Josh setting me up with this ride. I'm in the off season with some other people, and he's like, "Well, you want to run the 25 car?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So or lawn care on the hood. Toyota, obviously, we've got fast car tonight, and just happy to be able to drive it for the team and bring home a good result after another decent result at Miami and just improving week to week. So I was almost out of fuel, but so I'll thank my fuel guy for filling it up all the way.
There you go. Yeah, well, congratulations, man. Great run tonight, and we'll let you back and celebrate with the team.
Thank you, guys.
So that was our race winner, Kyle Purcell, and joining us now, if I can find him.
What are we looking for?
Found him.
Gotcha.
Joining us now, the man that came home in second place, Charlie Dickey. Talk us through the last couple of laps there, because that looked like it was nerve-wracking.
Man, I just tried to ride and stay out of trouble, and finish that thing after it was a tough middle of the race there for me. A lot of hard racing with the 14, the 9, the 09. It was a lot of fun. Congratulations to the 25 there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. But as the series moves on, we go to one of what usually is considered one of the easier tracks to run on to one of the more difficult tracks in New Hampshire next week. Your thoughts going into New Hampshire?
I always struggle with that track a little bit, so I'm glad I got a halfway decent finish here, and we'll see what we can do and stay out of trouble there. But normally I don't run very well there.
All right, Charlie, who do you need to thank before we let you go celebrate the podium with your team?
First of all, I'd like to thank ESBN for the great broadcast. I'd like to thank AARL for putting this league together. My sponsors, G-Tech Cleaning Solutions, FMI Racing, Sons Automotive Group, and Faded TV.
All right, Charlie Dickey, congratulations on a podium finish here tonight at Michigan. We will see you next week at New Hampshire.
Thank you. Congratulations to Cam and to Kyle.
And speaking of Cam, I believe you have Cameron Harris with you now, Damon.
Cam is Damon, Tony, man. Great. You had a fast car. You got caught up in some oopsies there early in the race and sort of fought back through that and come back with a good finish, man. How was the race?
The race was just brutal, man. Survival of the fittest. Who can repair the most damage and get back out there? That was the case for me, at least. I'm just glad it's over. That was rough.
Yeah, I had to look a couple times to make sure we weren't at Bristol or Martinsville, but it was a slugfest out there tonight. And you brought that Project Dynamic Toyota home in third place. Your teammate had some issues tonight, but you guys were fast all night long.
Yeah, we're fast all night long. Every time I got to the front, there, we would get caught up in something, and I ended up going a lap down there to repair damage, and got cautious at the end. Got a lucky dog, and I don't know. I P3. I don't know how it happened, but here we are.
Well, man, great run tonight. We head to New Hampshire next week. What do you got for them at New Hampshire?
A win, man. A
There we
win.
go. There we go. Well,
You got to be
congratulations,
better
Cam.
than the other guys. Thank you, thank you.
Absolutely. Who you want to thank tonight, man?
Uh, we got LJC Designs, Project Dynamic. Buddy McQuaid was up there for a while. It was good racing with him. That's about it. We're all good. It was a good run.
Congratulations, man. I'll put you back with the guys to celebrate, man. We'll see you next week at New Hampshire.
All right, see you then.
Bye-bye.
So, Damon, we've
Sonny?
got another one in the books.
Absolutely.
Let's take a quick look.
Exciting.
Absolutely. Let's take a quick look at our finishing order here. As soon as... There it goes. So Kyle Purcell, Charlie Dickey, Cam Harris coming home on your podium. Pete Theriot hanging on for 4th. David Hara in 5th. Nate Christensen, Larry Garnes, Jeremy Flanagan, Cole Martin, and Pat McQuaid rounding out your top 10. Cole Martin being scored the last car on the lead lap in 9th.
Yeah, coming home 11th. Tyrone Yo had some trouble early on, but he was able to still get a decent finish tonight. Scott Leonard Da Vinci, I think, I'm not sure if he blew up or what happened there coming to the green. He pulled off to save us the caution. He'll finish 12th. Christian Delgado finishes 13th. David Lorfano, with his troubles tonight, will come home 14th. Jim Hubble comes home 15th. Chad Snyder 16th. Adam Angerstein 17th. And Johnny May will come home 18th.
So that is going to about do it for us tonight from Michigan. For Mr. Damon Lester, thank you so much for joining me in the booth tonight. We're looking forward to next week at New Hampshire. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is Tony Trapasso reminding you as you walk down the road of life this week, please don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.